Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan. EisnerAmper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services, such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. EisnerAmper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. For industry-specific strategies that meet your needs in South Florida, make EisnerAmper part of your solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Boy, the NFL got it right. You start off with the stinker, and we all turn away from that game where the Bills were dragging the Jags to watch one of the greatest games we've seen in primetime in quite some time.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man, your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is a beautiful Tuesday here on Theoretically Speaking. We got an action-packed show. We're going to have Mike Tannenbaum join us today, former Dolphins president, former Jets GM Mike Tannenbaum, who pulls up on us every single Tuesday of the football season to tap in and give some insights. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. I got my guy C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. As always, dapper down in a Hawaiian shirt. What would you say? How many consecutive days is this now on air that you've worn a Hawaiian shirt, and when did this streak start?
Well, you know, it's not consecutive because I wear the ESPN West Palm polo from time to time.
That doesn't count.
Days.
That's a uniform. That doesn't count.
I don't remember the last time I haven't worn a Hawaiian shirt. Or, well, you know, I also dressed up in a jersey once because it was Jersey Day in the office.
The Justin Tucker jersey, the I'm washed jersey, the I'm maybe the worst kicker in the NFL jersey, though that's the only jersey you have for your favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I might put that one up in the rafters.
Yeah.
That might get the retired.
It's over with.
Last time I wore like a T-shirt or a non-Hawaiian shirt, it's been ever since I got back from Puerto Rico. Visited Puerto Rico for a 4-day weekend, bought a Hawaiian shirt there, and said, you know what? I like the way this feels.
How many Hawaiian shirts do you now own in your closet? Like, if I were to go into C-Cat's closet, is it like 25 of them in a row, like I'm at like a clothing rack store?
Yeah, I'm like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing every day, which is a different Hawaiian shirt. I would say I'm definitely double digits. I might be at 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I actually appreciate that. I love when people simplify their wardrobe, and it gives you less options in the morning. It gives you more clarity on what you're doing, and it also refocuses your decision-making to something more important, something that is more pertinent to your day. And speaking of your decision-making changing, Josh Allen. Josh Allen on Monday Night Football. I mean, his decision-making has been pristine this year. The real reason why I've always been out on Josh Allen is because, well, he's been a turnover machine. The only guy with more turnovers than him since 2021 is another quarterback that played last night on Monday Night Football in Trevor Lawrence, except he doesn't come with any of the touchdowns. He doesn't come with any of the upside. Josh Allen clearly does. I don't want to be one of those people that live in hyperbole, and I also am leveled enough to not take this to a level that we don't need to be getting to. But, of course, the Bills slaughtered the Jaguars at home last night, 47-10. I stopped watching that thing right about nearing halftime once I realized this thing was wrapped up. Josh Allen was having his way with that Jaguars defense, and Trevor Lawrence couldn't figure a thing out, whether he was scrambling around for his life, running into sacks, or just throwing the ball directly into the hands of DeMar Hamlin. Like, there was nothing Trevor Lawrence did good last night, and there was zero things that Josh Allen did bad. That was absolutely shocking to see Josh Allen come out so strong. And C-Cat, like my boy Jalen said here in the chat, you had to be elated, excited for Josh. Were you more happy and proud last night watching Josh Allen than you were watching your guy Lamar Jackson and the Ravens against the Cowboys?
No.
It didn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far. I know the fantasy football, investment, so happy about Josh Allen, but it was great watching Josh Allen prove to what I believe him to be the hands-down second-best quarterback in the NFL, and it was in prime time. It was fun to watch.
They are a team that made a statement last night. The Buffalo Bills did. In fact, we had 4 teams make statements last night. Just some of them were whimpers. Some of them were statements that were a little negative when you think about the Jaguars and also the Bengals, who fell to the Commanders at home, who I told you, I literally said this yesterday. I said, the Bengals are the team that should be the most desperate. They're the team that can't afford to lose. I knew the Jaguars had no shot against the Bills. That was one of the easiest blowouts to predict. But the Commanders doing what they did against the Bengals last night, winning 38-33, and having Jaden Daniels have his breakout as a rookie, that has to just be dismantling to the confidence of any fan over there in Houday Nation. It's a weak saying, by the way.
It's an identity crisis. Yeah.
Houday
is tough.
That is the weakest slogan for any professional franchise. I'm not just talking about the NFL. That Houday is cold. Like the Saints got something going down there. Right. Shout out New Orleans. Shout out the fam. Houday is just.
And they still
lousy.
debate about who started it, who stole who dat from each other.
One is good and the other one sucks. So it doesn't matter who started it or who did it first. Like, the Bengals can say they did it first, but if you did it first and it stunk, then you should have probably stopped doing it.
But you also look at how a team is performing and look at everything surrounding that team through a different lens. Maybe Houday rocks if the Bengals are 3-0, looking strong, and people aren't talking badly about Joe Burrow.
It doesn't even make sense, though, as a problem. You got Houday, you got Joe Burrow, who he's making more headlines and he's getting more highlights for his slow-motion walkouts or his little weak B-boy haircut that he's got, the 0-3 Bengals whimpering around. I don't want to start on that, though. I want to start on a good note. I want to talk about the Monday Night Football statement that went in a positive direction, because we're going to be doing that today. Give me your biggest Monday Night Football statement. Who made the biggest statement between the Bills, the Jaguars, the Bengals, and the Commanders? And for me, it's got to be Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And you came out of the gates and said it already, C-Cat. I want to cool the Jets on this. Everybody out here now is saying Josh Allen is clearly the second best quarterback in the NFL. Everybody is saying that he has paraded himself to the top. Maybe even some have gone past that line that we're not allowed to do on this radio station and said that he's better than Mahomes right now. I can't allow that. But I don't want to go that far yet. I think the real statement that the Bills made last night, it wasn't about whether or not Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league, clear cut. The statement he made was both of these Florida franchises outside of the Buccaneers, the Jaguars and the Dolphins, are absolutely stinky. They are bad football teams. Both came into this year thinking they can be in the playoffs, thinking they can maybe get away with winning a postseason game. Both this offseason invested $50+ million a year in their quarterbacks. Both had expectations of growth this year, had positivity coming into the season, and neither one of them put up any kind of a fight against the Buffalo Bills. In back-to-back weeks, Josh Allen and the Bills served as a big, giant, like one of those wall mirrors, the wall mirrors that you have to lean up against the wall when you're moving out of your house. You can't even carry it out yourself. You got to get the movers to do it because it's so damn thick and heavy. Josh Allen and the Bills were a big mirror, and the Buffalo Bills forced the Jaguars and the Dolphins in the past 2 weeks to look themselves in the mirror and say, we are not who we thought we were. And y'all obviously are. I don't see how a team in the Bills who lost so much talent over this offseason, who didn't have the kind of upgrades or the reinvestments in their offense that you saw from the Jaguars and the Dolphins, can be that demonstratively better than both of those teams. And I also know that both of those front offices now have a lot more questions regarding who they extended this offseason into a Tagovailoa and in Trevor Lawrence. Neither one of those contracts have kicked in yet, and both of those guys look like they are 4 or 5 classes behind Josh Allen. You're going to have to pay those dudes $50+ million a year. That means you're not going to be able to pay other spots on your roster. That means for the next 5, 6, 7 years, if you're the Dolphins or the Jaguars, you have absolutely no shot at contending in your conference, because I'm only talking about the Bills right now. I haven't even gotten to the other teams in the AFC that are more primed to be good, to be competent. The Dolphins and the Jaguars have to look themselves in the mirror today and just say, we are absolutely abysmal, CCAT. And I think that's the statement the Bills made. Not that Josh Allen is the number 2 quarterback in the league yet. I'm pumping the brakes. I'm cooling the jets. I refuse to be a prisoner of the moment. Give Lamar Jackson a chance to respond. What's our game next week? Bills versus Ravens. Let me see the Bills against some competition. That's the biggest statement we had from last night. The Bills showing the Florida teams that they absolutely stink. That's the statement, not that Josh Allen's the number 2 quarterback in the league right now. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Who made the biggest statement on Monday Night Football last night between the 4 teams, and what was that statement? To me, it was Josh Allen and the Bills, and it was that the Florida teams have a lot of thinking to do this coming offseason. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, as you always do here on Theoretically Speaking, 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the number to tap in on a Tuesday. Tap in on a Tuesday. I like the sound of that. 888-760-3776. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. ESPN released their FPI latest football power index rankings. The Bills are atop the rankings, and the Dolphins, you want to know where they place, CCAT?
Where's that?
DFL, dead effing last, number 32 in the league right now at -7.3, as the Bills are a positive 7.1. There's a huge chasm between the contenders and teams like the Dolphins and the Jags right now in the league. And you wouldn't have thought that going into this offseason. Both of those teams expected to be in the postseason, and they have no chance now, not just this year, but likely going forward, because the situations don't look like they're getting much better.
Theo, I'm feeling hyper-reactive right now.
Uh-oh.
Because what you just said confirms what I believe in my brain right now. This is not a statement about the playoffs. This is not a statement about the Super Bowl. This is not even a statement about the MVP this year. This is a statement about right now. If instead the Bills played the Chiefs and not the Ravens next weekend, the Bills would win the football game. Right now, the Bills are the best team in football. We all know what the Chiefs do throughout the season. They always get better. So I'm not willing to say that yet. But right now, the Bills are playing the best football in the NFL.
I have to agree with you. Even as a Chiefs fan, and as a guy who hates to admit how much ground Josh Allen is making up. Because to be honest with you, C-Cat, if I were to have an honest moment with all of you guys right now.
Be vulnerable?
I'm be vulnerable. I was coming into this show, coming into this day, prepared to have that conversation about Josh Allen. Has he reached the air of Patrick Mahomes? Has he snuck in, not level with him, not eye to eye, but has he snuck into that little cloud? Like, is he in the room? Is he opening the door in the room where Patrick Mahomes is sitting on his throne? I was ready. But the thing that made me pump the brakes on it is I have to consider the competition. That's one thing we always do here on Theoretically Speaking. We don't get out ahead of things in the wrong direction. You have to always consider the competition. It adds context to your conversation. And who have the Bills played this year? Who have they beaten? We've seen these amazing performances from Josh Allen, but we've also seen him in positions where he's literally been having his way, left and right, against defenses that have zero answers, against teams that have figured out nothing over the offseason, and obviously did not have a good plan of attack for stopping this Bills offense. Like, yes, he beat the Jaguars last night. The way they were playing, anybody could have showed up there and beat down on that defense. Yeah, they destroyed the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have looked terrible against everybody this year except for, the Jaguars. Like, I don't understand how we can take those 3 games from Josh Allen, who also has been the most volatile quarterback in the league over the past 3 or 4 years. There's a reason why he's led the league in turnovers, outside of that guy named Trevor Lawrence, who's now competing with him for that. Why he continues to lead the league in turnovers year after year. It's because Josh Allen has ups and downs. And against bad competition, he can look heroic at times. Against good competition, when he's pushed, when he's forced to try and make plays that he probably shouldn't, that's when you get the other side of the card with Josh Allen, and we haven't seen that yet this year. We're going to see it this coming weekend against the Ravens. If he performs like that, not even like that, if the Bills are able to beat the Baltimore Ravens, I believe that's on the road, right, in Baltimore?
Yeah.
I think that then we can start having that conversation as to whether or not, clearly we can put him ahead of Lamar Jackson, right? But also whether or not Josh Allen has crept up and is playing the best football in the league and also should be considered the best football player in the National Football League. But it's too early because the competition has been too poor.
Oh, man, right now, looking at that slate, Sunday Night Football is Ravens hosting the Bills. Ravens are 2.5-point favorites. If this game ends 33-31, Ravens win, I'm still willing to say Josh Allen is above. I didn't watch the football game, but if you're able to put about that amount of points, if it is clearly an offensive affair, I'm excited for it. Right now, I'm more worried about my spot on the couch and my meal during that game rather than the takeaways during that football game. I want to enjoy it first.
So do you think, is there a way that Lamar, right now you squarely have Josh Allen as the number 2 quarterback in the league? You believe he's better than Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
So is there anything Lamar can do in that game on Sunday to prove to you otherwise? Is there a scenario in which you say, oh my gosh, that guy actually is the guy that's the quarterback for my team that has 2 MVPs, that was in the AFC Championship game last year and only lost because he was going up against that Kansas City Chiefs team that was indestructible down the edge of that season? Is there anything he can do on Sunday to prove it to you?
If Lamar can come from behind using his arm against the Bills, we'll start the conversation.
Okay.
It'll be just one data point, but again, that is one of the continuing conversations about Lamar Jackson is the Ravens have a certain way to win football games ever since the Lamar Jackson era began, and we saw that exact formula last weekend against the Cowboys. Run the ball down the throat, get an early lead, choke the clock out. Well, it kind of had a faulty fourth quarter there, but that's kind of how they won the football game. If we can see Lamar Jackson do something that he's done a couple of times in his career, once came in the regular season against the Chiefs, come from behind, use his arm. Part of the reason why Lamar Jackson is as dynamic and is as highly ranked as he is because he's not just an arm, but he's obviously 50% of the equation is his legs. But this is the NFL. It's a passing league. I want to see that he's able to do that. If Lamar Jackson can come from behind, win that football game with his arm, I'll have the conversation about debating who's number 2.
And that's the thing. So for me, I won't. That's why I refuse right now to just hand it over to Josh Allen because he also hasn't been tested for real. The Cardinals game was somewhat of a test, but the fact that that defense is what held them up, I do give a pass because it was week 1 It's coming out of a preseason where you're not really playing. You have a bunch of new weapons. It's still a relatively new offensive system, so I give the Bills a pass there, but they were able to come from behind and win in week 1. I just still want to see what the Bills look like, and they're going to get tested. Let's look at their schedule ahead. It's not just the Ravens here, but they have a few games here where you're going to say, okay, if they get through this stretch, the shifting of the MVP odds, like what we've seen, because, right, Josh Allen's the leader in the clubhouse right now for the MVP, right?
Pretty sure.
The shifting in the odds and also the football power index having them number 1 over the Chiefs, over the Niners, over the other extremely – I said Niners as if they were even good this year. We're going to find out. So they have Sunday Night Football at the Ravens. That's going to be this coming weekend. The following weekend, they remain on the road and they travel to Houston, Texas to face the Houston Texans, who have a defense that, I mean, again, Sam Darnold had his way. Sam Darnold darted him up, but you don't have the same level of weapons on the outside that Darnold had against the Texans. I would love to see what he does against that defense and in a third straight road game. So really, the Bills might have had a super-duper easy runway, but these next 3 games, we're going to really learn a lot more about them because the next game after that, Monday Night Football at the Jets. That is a hell of a way to back up the claims that people are saying right now today. If he is that number 2 guy in the NFL, if he is the quarterback that y'all are going to say is contending with Mahomes now, I need to see something out of these next 3 games. I don't give a damn what he did in the first 3.
Well, I think that's kind of the preferred schedule for any NFL team in the year 2024. It's an easy start, and then you ramp into your harder games.
Yeah.
Because you see how low passing is in the NFL. If you're a passing team, it's going to take some time to get into rhythm. And now the Bills look like they are fully in rhythm, ready to take on the meat of that schedule. You ask about the MVP odds. Right now, Josh Allen, the leader in the clubhouse, by a hair. He's at plus 230. Mahomes close behind at plus 250. And no one's really in the same conversation of those two as far as the MVP award goes. Plus 1,400 is C.J. Stroud.
Wow.
Plus 1,600, Jalen Hurts. Still haven't said Lamar Jackson's name.
Yeah.
Plus 1,750 is Rodgers, plus 1,750 Rhett Jackson.
Yeah, they're losing right now. And when the Ravens start rearing back into form, he'll climb the leaderboard there in the clubhouse, and he can really do it this Sunday against the Bills. Like, I don't think, again, you can glean too much from this win. I love that people are having their parades for Josh Allen. I love that there is the fanfare around him that is starting to kind of cloud back up, and people are pumping their chest. It was disrespectful that he was called the most overrated quarterback in the NFL this preseason by his NFL, it wasn't like this was media talking. It wasn't like it was Twitter trolls. Literally, ESPN had that poll with NFL players, and they said Josh Allen's the most overrated player in the league. And he's not performing like it. In fact, the most overrated player in the league was the guy that was quarterbacking the Bengals in the game that was the finale of Monday Night Football in Joe Burrow. And I'm not just saying that in hindsight because the Bengals have started off 0-3. Can we take another trip down memory lane, C-Cat? Let's take a trip down memory lane and listen to what I told y'all about Josh Allen and Joe Burrow back this offseason. I have to be the one to bear some bad news for the Bengals fans out there. Joe Burrow is clearly the most overrated quarterback in the NFL, especially coming into this season. I was right. Joe Burrow is not the guy that y'all painted him out to be. Dan Orlovsky loves to hop on TV any chance he gets and just glaze up Joe Burrow. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is the one dude the Chiefs don't want to see. That's the one team, the one quarterback the Chiefs don't want to line up against. I don't understand how Joe Burrow can get all of the credit for the Bengals making the Super Bowl, and now just because his defense didn't get some stops against a rookie quarterback, y'all don't want to give him any of the blame. If he gets the credit for the Bengals making that Super Bowl run, when really you're talking about him having 3 elite weapons, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, an elite defense at the time with Jesse Bates back there hovering around as a free safety, his defensive coordinator, Big Lou, calling up some of the best schemes ever against Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest defensive coordinators at scheming against and slowing down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Joe Burrow did not carry this Bengals team to the Super Bowl that year when they inevitably fell to the Rams. And you paid him like a guy that could carry a team. But you know what y'all forgot when y'all paid him plus $55 million a year? You know what you forgot about Joe Burrow? We haven't seen him be good unless he's had 2 elite weapons on the outside. And the problem with having 2 elite wide receivers these days is you got to pay them dudes. The Bengals are another team. I don't expect them to get back to the Super Bowl again under Joe Burrow. I will say that today, and this is not an overreaction. I've been saying it this offseason. I'll say it again today as they started off 0-3. The statement the Bengals made last night in losing to the Commanders, a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who looked like the better quarterback on the field. Not that Joe Burrow looked bad, but Jaden Daniels looked like the guy I would rather have quarterbacking my team. The Bengals are telling us they won't be back on that stage. So continue to give Joe Burrow the credit, continue to applaud the fact that he has a winning record against Patrick Mahomes, and continue to pat his back and say, well, buddy, it's all good. You made it to the Super Bowl. Because they won't ever be back there again with Joe Burrow at quarterback, and it's because there's two types of quarterbacks in this league, C-Cat. There's guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, who you don't have to pay a receiver $35+ million a year to make him look good on the field, to be a security blanket. And then there's guys like Joe Burrow, who are closer to Tua Tagovailoa and Jared Goff than he is to that elite realm of quarterbacks. And that's the ugly truth that the Bengals learned last night, not just the fan base, but that front office. And that's the reason why they're a little bit hesitant. They're going to let T. Higgins walk. They're going to have to pay Jamar Chase. But once they do that, the reason why this is Joe Burrow's fault, that defense couldn't stop nobody because the front office couldn't pay nobody because you're paying Joe Burrow so much money now.
You could even put
The issue.
Dak Prescott in the conversation, like paying CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Like paying, or they paid Dak, so he's going to be there for a while, and they need weapons like that around him to have hope to be good. And with Joe Burrow, I think there's two paths he could have gone here. And I'm not saying that he chose to take one path or the other. It's just that what type of quarterback he is when you look back at his career in 20 years. Is he going to be looked at as an Eli Manning? Where, oh my God, remember when Joe Burrow did that, somehow slayed that dragon of Patrick Mahomes not once, but twice?
Yeah.
Or he's going to be looked at as maybe a Peyton Manning in a career, where he did slay that dragon and continues to do that a couple of times in his career, even though he's not looked at as the Tom Brady of his era. And right now, reading the tea leaves for the next 15 years, he's getting closer to the side of the Eli Manning type legacy where, he might be looked at as fondly from his own fan base, but he's not respected among the greats.
And the problem is, yes, Joe Burrow is closer to Eli Manning than he is Peyton Manning, at least when it comes to like legacy and projecting things right now. The problem is the Giants never had to pay Eli like they did Peyton. The Bengals are paying Joe Burrow top of the market money. And I'm not saying the dude isn't worth that, but his success is obviously contingent on having elite wide receiver play. And when you have to pay the quarterback and the wide receiver, you start to run out of money. This is a zero-sum game. It's a salary cap sport. This ain't like LSU when you could just have the bad guy drop off some bread in a double cup, styrofoam cup through the fast food line. You just stuff the money in the bottom cup, put some Coke in the first one, Coca-Cola, by the way, and then hand it to the recruit, and you could just pile on all this talent, CEH and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and all of that. No. There's a limit to how much talent you can stockpile in the NFL, especially when you're paying a guy at quarterback $50+ million. There's a reason why Josh Allen ain't got no number one receiver right now. There's a reason why Patrick Mahomes doesn't either. It's because their team is going to build around them with other elite weapons. I feel like I'm starting to sound like Evan Cohen. And I don't like that at all. I'm vehemently against that. I want him to have his own thing, but he's starting to kind of rub off on me where I do think a guy like Joe Burrow, who's going to force his front office to have to also pay an elite wide receiver, will never be able to get back to that stage because he's already getting passed up by other dudes in this conference. Like C.J. Stroud is showing promise. What is Justin Herbert going to be under Jim Harbaugh? I don't know, man. I'm all the way out on the Bengals, and I have been before they started 0-3, and now I feel even more fortified in that decision. Big ups to the Commanders, though. They did their thing.
They sure did. And Colin Russo recited this stat yesterday on Russo and Rizzo about how only 5 teams modern era have made the playoffs after starting 0-3.
Yeah.
The most recent one was 2018 Texans. Like, this is a dark pit. Being 0-3 doesn't feel, like numbers-wise, statistics-wise, 0-3 doesn't seem that difficult to come back from to make the playoffs in the NFL, but the stats say otherwise.
Yeah. Not only do the stats say otherwise, what were we about to say there?
Because I'm not willing to say the Bengals won't make the playoffs, but I should feel that way.
I'm willing to say it. In the AFC this year, with as many teams that are going to be competitive, as many teams that expect to be in the playoff race, as well as some of the squads that got off to hot starts that we didn't expect, I don't see the Bengals making the playoffs, and they're going to have to earn their money back over these next 2 weeks. They're going to be at the Panthers. Legacy game for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Like, legitimate, Andy Dalton can do the most hilarious thing ever, and that's to literally drive the nail into the coffin of the Bengals season this year by supplanting the guy that they talked about, cleared the air. The Andy Dalton era gets just washed over in Cincinnati because he wasn't able to do it in prime time. If he's able to have that 1 o'clock kick in Carolina and drive the nail in the coffin for the Bengals this year and make them 0-4, that would be great. But then the very next week, the Bengals are hosting the Ravens. And the Ravens are clearly a better football team than them. And you know what they're really good at doing that the Bengals can't seem to stop? Running the damn football. Derrick Henry going to have a field day against them. I am all the way out on these Bengals. The statement they made is a bit of a whimper, and it also is that, hey, we might have made a mistake. Paying hefty money to Joe Burrow a little early because they had that great Super Bowl run. He got a lot of credit there, and nobody wants to give him the blame today. I'll be the one to do it here on Theoretically Speaking. Chris Canty did the same on Unsportsmanlike. We'll see if Mike Tannenbaum feels the same way. Mike T joining us on a Tuesday to talk some ball on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
In office, West Palm Beach.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you could drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
If you are buying a new home in Palm Beach County, whether it's your first time or you're upgrading or downsizing, the clerk's office is the services you need to help protect your investment. Sign up for our Property Fraud Alert program, offering free monitoring of Palm Beach County's official records. You will get an alert if a document, such as a deed or mortgage, is recorded using your name or address. For more information, head to our website at mypalmbeachclerk.com/homeowners. Congratulations on your new home. We are always here to help.
Rapids Water Park. Mega thrills, mega fun, and new mega mayhem. Now open. The first dueling water coaster in Florida. Save 45% on a gold season pass and get free parking all season long. Only at South Florida's mega thrill capital, Rapids Water Park. It's Mega 2024.
Thank you for calling the ESPN 106.3 fan poll. Today's question, would you like to hear a new show weekdays at 4 p.m.? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You press 1 for yes. Tune into ESPN 1063 for Russo and Rizzo, weekdays at 4. Thank you. Goodbye.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
The Super Bowl feels like a long shot for the Cincinnati Bengals, coming off of not one, not two, but 3 straight losses to open the season. Last team to make the playoffs after starting 0-3, the Houston Texans in 2018. The Bengals are chasing that. But first, they got to chase a win. Joining us here on a Tuesday, our friend, general manager of ESPN West Palm, former GM of actually the Jets, and former president of the Dolphins, our guy Mike Tannenbaum, pulling up on a Tuesday after a doubleheader of Monday Night Football. And Mike T, I just want to start you off with this. Are the Bengals dead? Are they cooked?
I don't think so. You look at their division, and certainly Cleveland has had its struggles, and then Pittsburgh's undefeated. But Theo, their quarterback is a week-to-week situation, and Baltimore just got their first win. So remember, 7 teams make the playoffs. We got a long, long way to go.
It's a long way to go, but it also feels like that Bengals team has a long way to go to being competent around Joe Burrow. I don't blame Joe Burrow for losing the game last night because obviously he had a great game. They put up good numbers. There were a couple of drives that ended in field goals where they needed touchdowns, but you can't knock him for that early on. But I do blame Joe Burrow for the state of the Bengals roster. The reason why they don't have a lot of those elite veterans that they had on the defensive side of the ball is because they have to pay him and now Jamar Chase. Like, how much of this is also partially because the Bengals have to pay Joe Burrow, not that he's playing bad football?
Yeah, it's totally fair. We had that same conversation about, Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence at $55 million a year. A $250 million cap, you have to say to yourself, is that worth it? So, look, I think the good news for Cincinnati is Joe Burrow's played great. He has taken this team to a Super Bowl. He looks like he's over the wrist injury, but it's a fair point. Their margin for error is a lot smaller, and that defense, DJ Reader's now in Detroit, for example, they have to hit on their young guys.
Mike T, joining us here on Theoretically Speaking, following a Monday Night Football doubleheader that saw the Bills dominate the Jaguars and the Commanders have a thrilling win over the Bengals. A late touchdown from Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin sealed that thing up. Mike, when you saw that from Jaden Daniels, what was your first thought? Because there are some people now calling into question whether or not the Bears made the right pick at number 1.
Yeah, when you could go against cover 0, meaning that it's man-to-man and no deep help, and the defense is going to rush more players than you could block, and you throw a ball that had a 10% chance of being completed with the game on the line, it's really remarkable. They haven't punted since week 1. Jaden Daniels is playing incredibly well.
Yeah, that was Caleb Williams is the one that texted his punter, Torrey Taylor, saying we're not going to punt much. The Bears have, I think, punted the most in the NFL, whereas the Commanders can't seem to get the punter out on the field. Pretty incredible stuff from the Commanders. Where do you stand, though, now on sit versus start with rookie quarterbacks? I've always been in the opinion of it's not about whether or not you should always sit or start a rookie quarterback. It's is he ready or not? Is your team in position for him to succeed or not? It should be a case-by-case basis. Do you have a firm rule on sitting versus starting?
I would have a lean towards not starting, just to sit there and learn and let the game slow down a little bit. Now, look, that's obviously proven not to be the case with Washington because he's playing so well, Theo. But generally speaking, let the game slow down. A lot of times, believe it or not, it's the first time these guys have had a job. Get comfortable with your apartment, your commute, learn the people in your building, know the playbook inside out, and then each week, come up with an expert level of mastery of understanding your defensive tendencies of the other team.
Well said there, and that's exactly what he was able to do as he and Terry McLaurin was connecting on deep shots multiple times against the Bengals after the Bengals actually called them out for having a college offense. It ended up working out last night. I'm curious, you already brought up Trevor Lawrence, Mike T. It's hard to find a situation worse than where the Jaguars actually stand right now because that contract hasn't even kicked in yet. Trevor Lawrence, 0-8 in his last 8 starts. They've named the stadium after him. They've committed the next 5 years after Trevor Lawrence. At what point do we actually pull the plug and say, hey, maybe this guy actually isn't as good as we thought he would end up being in the league?
Yeah, I think we're a ways away from that. Like you said, they just paid him, a couple $100 million in guaranteed money. Theo, he's got to be their guy. You just got to work through it. And you go back a couple of weeks ago, they were dominating the Dolphins, and then Travis Etienne fumbles at the one. Javon Howell makes that great play, and it seems like from that moment on, this team has really struggled on offense.
Yeah, Mike, on the Bills side of that game, me and Theo have been talking about it. They haven't played much great competition the first 3 weeks of the season. Have you drawn much conclusion from the Bills' red-hot start of the season, or are we waiting and seeing?
I think they're going to be really hard to beat, guys. You go back to last year when Joe Brady took over. They led the league with 36 rushing attempts per game. This is a James Cook sort of like Dalton Kincaid team with a good offensive line and a quarterback that's not turning the ball over. So I like them. I like the way they're playing, and you could see like they're going to be hard to beat just because teams can't match their physicality. We saw that last night.
Yeah, and this is the first year they're without Stephon Diggs for quite some time now. How can that help a quarterback in an offense taking away, which we know who is a dynamic receiver like Diggs?
Yeah, I think Josh Allen answered that question last night when he talked about, hey, we're going to get it to the open guy. No one here is worrying about their stats or touches. And, I think you could look at Green Bay, very similar situation where they have 4 or 5 guys, Ontario Swicks, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs that can all make plays. I think you're seeing, a very similar approach with, Green Bay. With Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think that's been key for that franchise, for the Green Bay Packers start. I mean, they're doing it now with a backup quarterback. Jordan Love hopefully coming back next week, your guy, the guy that you paraded for. And for the Bills now, so do you think then, is Joe Burrow, from your analytic eye, do you think he's a guy that can survive without a Jamar Chase level talent? Like we've seen Lamar Jackson do it. We've seen Josh Allen do it. We've seen Patrick Mahomes do it. Is he in that category? Because earlier I said he's closer to Tua than he is those guys. And the franchise is actually paying their roster similarly to what the Dolphins are doing. So they might agree.
Yeah, I would say this, he's going to have to do it with, Tyler Boyd's gone. Presumably T. Higgins is gone a year. I expect Jamar Chase to be there, but, maybe it's going to be Andre Yoshevis, or
nice.
Jermaine Burton, their third-round pick. I think it's probably somewhere in the middle where they'll keep one, but they can't keep all those weapons.
Mike T joining us following a thrilling week 3, which ended with Jaden Daniels taking over the place there with a huge touchdown to Terry McLaurin. I do want to ask you this, Mike T. There was so much action through these 3 weeks. Is there any team that literally flipped your opinion on them through these first 3 weeks? Maybe you thought one way, you thought there's no chance this team makes the postseason, and now you think that there's a chance they can contend for a Super Bowl? Or maybe it was the other way around, a team you thought that would be good that is struggling out of the gates.
Yeah, the Vikings and their defense. I called the game on Sunday with Steve Levy on ESPN radio, and they dismantled a really good Houston Texan offense. And, boy, what a great job Brian Flores is doing. One snap, they got everybody up, and they're blitzing. Next snap, they got everybody up, and they're dropping. They've been doing an incredible job.
What about we talked about this yesterday. I think this time next year, we're talking about Sam Darnold still starting games for the Minnesota Vikings. How likely do you see that to be? What would he have to do this year to keep that job out there in Minnesota?
It's a really fair point. I don't think he has to do anything crazy, just to keep holding serve, just be consistent. He played really well. He doesn't turn the ball over, 4 touchdowns, and the game just seemed to slow down for him, which is sometimes happens, guys. Things need to slow down, and, you look at, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, those are players that, resurrected their careers, and, I think it could happen again. And, Sam seems like a great person who just had, some of these, turnover, sort of proclivities. And I think if he could smooth that out, I think your point about him starting next year is definitely on the table.
Mike, I feel like on these airwaves and across sports media, we're very fast to call for jobs maybe than we should be in reality. You've sat in those meetings. How quickly are you to start talking about a coach's job into a season? Because we're 3 games in, and we're hearing Mike McCarthy rumors already. We're 3 weeks in, and we're hearing rumors all across the league about different teams that are stumbling out of the gates. How much grace period do these coaches get into a struggling start?
every situation is different, but you want to know, like, hey, if we're going to make a change, what are the options? Who are we going to get? Are they in the building? There's a myriad of factors that go into it. Have you met with the coach to see if he could course correct? So, look, Mike McCarthy was on a 1-year deal. I don't think anyone's really surprised about that. But, one of the things that the Jones family has to think about is, like, well, who's going to take over as that can make this, the team's performance any better?
Right, because it feels like that's more of a roster situation similar to the Bengals than it is like a Mike McCarthy thing, though it's not like he's been blowing things out of the water here. Last one for you here, Mike T. Next week, we have the Ravens and we have the Bills on primetime television. For you, for your money, where do you feel these two teams stand? Who do you think is stronger in that contest? The Ravens will have it at home, so they're favored, but it's really close. I think you said the line's what?
2.5.
2.5. Who do you think is playing? Is going to be playing better football come Sunday night?
Yeah, I'm going to go Baltimore at home. Just really like the way Derrick Henry played. I saw John Harbaugh's comments today. I mean, that's really who they want to be. I think he could be a real difference maker. Just when you think you're going to have to load up the box, to defend Derrick Henry, I think that's when Lamar could be at his most dangerous, especially with a very explosive Zay Flowers. So should be a heck of a game. But Baltimore at home with sort of like a resurgent Derrick Henry.
Hey, I felt it. You confirmed it. I'll be heading to Hard Rock Bet soon. Appreciate you, Mike T. Thanks for pulling up on a Tuesday, and we'll chop it next week.
Okay, thank you.
That's our guy, Mike Tannenbaum. His appearance is always presented by Eisner Amper, and he has me feeling good about how I feel going into this game. Now, I'm hoping that line moves some, C-Cat. I'm going to wait on it a little bit through the week. I think as the Bills hype continues, can't you see that thing moving closer to like almost even? Like, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people willing to put their money on the Ravens right now.
So the hype is going to ramp up for the Bills as we wait for Week 4 action, but I don't know if the hype that you hear on TV and on the radio and on social media is as correlated with the line movement. I think money moves the line, and that's it.
You're right. I mean, I'm not I'm not one of those guys that is all deep into the weeds of that stuff, but I do think if you're a fan, if you're like a generic fan right now, somebody that's looking to make some bets early on the NFL this weekend, there's no team that everybody's higher on than the Bills right now, and the Ravens. People are going to forget that performance against the Cowboys. It looked a little closer because of the onside kick, because of the Cowboys clawing back down the stretch. So I can see that thing moving. And once it does, maybe that's going to end up being our lock again for punchline picks, as we are now just one point behind Russo and Rizzo. We're making up ground. We're going to overtake them this weekend, and they're going to be the ones telling jokes on stage. We have some trivia.
Oh,
we have some trivia coming up here.
I'm glad you asked.
Yes. That music symbolizes, theoretically speaking, trivia here. So tap in on the YouTube stream as well as stick around on the radio because C-Cat's got a question.
So Jaden Daniels has been lighting it up with his arm, but also with his legs the first 3 games this season. He is second all-time for the most rushing yards for a rookie in their first 3 games, with 171 rushing yards in Daniels' first 3 games with the Commanders. My question for you, Theo Dorsey, and the nation watching on YouTube, Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast listening in their car on ESPN 106.3, which rookie NFL quarterback has had the most rushing yards in their first 3 games?
That's a good one. The only question I'll have, and maybe you can give me the answer to this during the break, does it count for just games or is it starts? Because technically with like Lamar Jackson who sat and Jalen Hurts who sat, I don't know if that would be. So we'll clarify that. We'll clarify that during the break to make sure. And we'll give the answer on the other side as well as the safe bound get around. There's one wide receiver, a star wide receiver who is fawning over a quarterback on another team. I'm talking about an active wide receiver who is outwardly like romanticizing about the idea of having another starting quarterback on his team. That and more when we come back. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. I'm thinking it's Jalen Hurts. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. EDSisyes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, EDSisyes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes when it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing. EDSisyes.com. That's EDSisyes.com.
Is racking up tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt really worth the 4-year degree? Not a lot of people think so anymore. A recent Wall Street Journal poll found that 56% of us believe that a skills-based education, that's a smarter investment than a 4-year degree. So why waste that time and money when there's an alternative right here in North Palm Beach that teaches the skills that people can actually use in today's world, and you can get those skills in just months, not years. I'm talking about CSB Media Arts Center, the home of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which provides hands-on training in audio and video production, podcasting, sports broadcasting, social media marketing, filmmaking, coding, and so much more. For over 60 years, CSB has placed thousands of graduates in careers. Take a moment and visit GoCSB.com to schedule a tour. That's GoCSB.com.
Are you one of those people that just can't focus at home? The dog barks, the kids are screaming, and you're thinking, how am I going to get all of this work done? Working from home can be distracting, but Intelligent Office is here to help you focus. They offer quiet and affordable private office and meeting spaces in Palm Beach Gardens to help you get your work done. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to reserve an office today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
CCAT, you know what's greater than 22?
What?
23.
And 24.
And 24. Shout out SpongeBob. The Kaiser Seahawks football team well on their way maybe to the 23rd national championship. Not in football history, but in all of the Kaiser program's history. They're off to a 3-0 start. They are the defending NAIA national champions, and Coach Miles Russ has them guys coached up well so far. They've got back-to-back road games. The next time you can catch them at home will be October 12th. That's a 6 o'clock Saturday kickoff against Warner. Yeah, they're traveling up to Georgia to face Thomas University. I used to cover that squad. But when it comes to Kaiser, not just the football team, the Seahawks National Championships is their game. Seahawks is their name. Championships is their game. They have 22 national championships to the history of all their programs. I'm talking women's swimming and diving. I'm talking about the golf squad. I'm talking about lacrosse. I mean, they know how to win. Winning is in their threads. Winning is in their culture. KUSeahawks.com to tap in with the Kaiser Seahawks. You can check out the football squad. You can check out baseball, everything. All of the events and competitions they have going around campus. Check them out, KUSeahawks.com. All right, it's time. It's time to deliver on this trivia. Now, what was the question again, C-Cat?
Question was, Jaden Daniels has the second most rushing yards in their first 3 games as a rookie with 171 yards the first 3 games.
A lot.
Which rookie NFL quarterback had the most rushing yards in their first 3 games? And we clarified, not their first 3 starts, their first 3 games.
So that would eliminate Lamar Jackson, who was behind Joe Flacco. That would eliminate Jalen Hurts, who was behind Carson Wentz. And that's it. So the rest of the names I have on my list here are RG3, Tim Tebow, which maybe I go ahead and eliminate that one as well. Didn't think about that. Just hit me. Cam Newton, Michael Vick, Marcus Mariota, and RG3. Those are the 4 that I've come down to. I know for sure it's one of those 4. And to be honest with you, as a former Panthers fan and a Cam Newton stan, I remember his rookie debut being all about the passing. I mean, he had 422 yards in his first game. Didn't have as much rushing early out of the gates, so I think that would set him back. So I'm going to eliminate Cam Newton off that list. I don't remember Michael Vick's debut. I don't remember his first 3 games with the Falcons. I'd imagine they were prolific as well. So now I'm just down to RG3, Vick, and Mariota. If I had to guess, because RG3, literally his game was running so much early on, the read option stuff, I think it would have to be him. The only other guy I would test on this would be Colin Kaepernick, but I don't think he started out of the gate. I think he had to wait a few games out there in San Francisco. So let's go with Robert Griffin III, former Commanders quarterback, as the guy that has the most rushing yards through 3 weeks in their first 3 starts. That's what I'm talking about. I'm nice.
Way to go.
I'm nice.
Charlie Batch comes in 3rd for 1998 with 160 yards.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that. How far down is Mariota? Is he in there?
He's in there somewhere.
I don't have
that.
Okay.
I don't have that full list.
Did he start out he did start out the gates. Yeah.
For the Titans?
Yeah, he did start out the gates. So there you have it. Me killing the game so far here on Theoretically Speaking Trivia.
Apparently that trivia question was on the broadcast last night. I didn't know that.
Really? I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. Maybe between me going back and forth again. Or was it post? Was it probably at the end of the game?
No idea. That's the text I got. Like, I guess you watched the game last night. You should know that. I mean, well, no, you know what? We got other screens. We got people in our lives.
Yeah. A lot of times that audio is down on those games, man. I'm multitasking at all times, man. You can't ever let people know your next move there. Always got other motion. We also have a lot of motion when we hop on that safe bound get around. It's that time to do so. Do we have time, actually, though, before we go to the happy hour with Tina?
We might have to kick it to the happy hour with Tina.
Let's bring in the safe bound get around when we bring in our ray of sunshine here as we start the happy hour with Tina. They call her the Patrick Mahomes of ESPN West Palm. I've heard she's the GOAT.
Who said that?
Bubba. Bubba said that, but Bubba's the same guy who said last night that both the Jaguars and the Bengals would win.
Oh.
So he's not really an accurate guy so far with his predictions or his pontifications. We'll see if Tina is. The happy hour around the corner with Tina, myself, and C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you're fueled by football, ESPN 106.3 will keep your tank full. Thursday night, Week 4 of the NFL season kicks off with the Cowboys taking on the Giants in an NFC East grudge match. Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m.
Hi, it's Kevin Dalton, owner of the Unlimited Auto Wash. Save up to $5 on any of our washes on Monday if you're a guy, Wednesdays for the ladies, and seniors 55 and older every Thursday. We have a loyalty program where on Tuesday you get double stamps. With 7 locations, there's an Unlimited Auto Wash near you. Plus, we have unlimited monthly plans that offer inside and out hand washes with Tire Shine for $44.95 per month. Visit unlimitautautowashclub.com or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
When it comes to choosing a health plan, you can trust the members who have experienced it firsthand. Humana is proud to offer a Medicare Advantage plan in Florida that earned 5 out of 5 stars. 5 stars is the highest rating possible. It's based on real members' experiences, and it's decided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Our Humana Gold Plus HMO earned 5 out of 5 stars. That means a few things. It means members get outstanding customer service. It means we connect them with excellent preventive care and chronic condition support. Most of all, it means you have a trustworthy option for a Medicare Advantage plan. Explore our 5-star Humana Gold Plus HMO at humana5star.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Introducing Questionable Call with Josh Cohen. And it's exclusively on YouTube, where JC is breaking down the most viral clips in sports and entertainment.
Because every day above ground is a good day, some are just more questionable than others.
Subscribe to Questionable Call on YouTube right now. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Anything else is out of the question. Presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, Twin Peaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire, and Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Yeah, chicken and seafood.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is a Tuesday. Yes, it is. And we are feeling good on this Tuesday, a tasty Tuesday. We got C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. And we have Tina in the wild, pulling up for the happy hour as we get things going. What a week. How locked in were you on your cutie patootie Josh Allen last night?
I wasn't locked in at all.
How can you not watch the guy? He's like your man crush Monday, and he was playing on a Monday Night Football.
That's spot on.
It's just
He is my man crush Monday of NFL player.
Yeah.
But I had a little pizza night with one of my friends, and we were watching other shows.
Okay,
So,
I get it. I mean, that game was over with by like the end of the first quarter anyways, but thankfully there were two Monday Night Football games. Yeah. So I tapped in on the other one. Like, how soon did you turn away from Bills versus Jaguars, CK?
So once the week goes to Saturday, I bring my old TV from upstairs, I bring it downstairs, and I stack them.
Is this a fat body, like a TV with a butt, or is this a flat screen?
No, it's just a smaller flat screen that I had before I upgraded to a bigger one.
Yeah.
But, I just bring it downstairs, put it on the floor below my new screen, and I watch both. So double screen it, so I was watching both the entire time.
Yeah. I did. I kept one screen up, and I turned away. I think it was, I can't remember which touchdown it was. It was like the fourth touchdown, I think, of the first half from Josh Allen. And I was like, yeah, this thing's wrapped up. The Jaguars have quit. They don't really have much in the tank. And Josh Allen, the cutie patootie, he looks inevitable. He looks really strong. I'm actually, as a Chiefs fan and as somebody who said, you know what, this offseason, I never said I was out on Josh Allen. I said we're going to find out this year. And we'd have messed around and found out that dude still got it.
Yes.
Might even be better.
It's really fun when you have an offensive onslaught like the Bills were putting forth on live television last night. When you see, they went 3 and out, they've got a chance to score again, and they're going to go for 6. I like that little feeling where it's almost like a video game.
It's almost as good as the Commanders and Bengals game. I would argue Bills-Jaguars first half was as entertaining as Commanders-Bengals, even though that one was more competitive down the stretch and we had huge plays from Jaden Daniels. That was thrilling. That was fun. It also is fun sometimes to watch a team beat up on another team, especially in the NFL. Like in college football, when you're watching like Alabama whoop up on Toledo or something, some kind of cupcake, and I feel bad. That's disrespectful to Toledo. Okay. Toledo's not like
Toledo's pretty good this year.
They're not that's kind of screwed up. I apologize
Akron.
to Rocket Nation.
Akron.
Let's go with Akron. I'm sorry. I don't know why I had Toledo. But to watch in college football like Alabama beat up on Akron, that's not fun.
No.
It's not fun at all. There's something non-enjoyable about it because there were no expectations. In the NFL, watching a team bludgeon another squad, especially when they're doing it offensively and like you said, going for 6 every time and not kicking field goals, it's fun. And we've been missing that through the first 3 weeks of the football season, and the Bills provided it last night with a 47-piece.
Yeah, it's like two different types of movies, and both do well in the box office.
Yeah.
Watching the Bills run up the score in the first half is like watching a Fast and Furious movie, which there's a reason why they keep making those movies.
Yeah.
Non-stop action. The result is never really in doubt. Like, Dom Toretto's going to be alive at the end of the movie. The Rock's going to be okay.
They should
Jason
kill him one
Statham,
time.
and just bring him back and just act like it never happened. And then a Christopher Nolan movie is like the actual drama, like actually high quality film was the Commanders and Bengals game last night because you didn't know what the end was going to have in store. I thought for a second the Commanders were going to blow that game. I honestly did.
Wow. I have no faith in the Bengals. And that more so is obviously partially biased because I don't like them, but then also I've seen what they've looked like the past 2 weeks, and they give me no confidence in them. C-Cat, you just brought something up with Fast and Furious. It made me think about something. I actually haven't watched the Fast and the Furious since Too Fast, Too Furious.
You're not missing out on anything.
Like, what's the
They're
latest?
still the same.
There's like 12 movies out, right? Like,
they are so bad. They turn your brain into mush. My
Yeah.
college roommate freshman year, his birthday party was going to this 4D theater to watch the latest of that time Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, my God.
And I was raining on everybody's parade. I was probably a really bad roommate and a bad friend because I was yucking his yum. He loved those movies. I couldn't stand it. I was rolling my eyes. I was being passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
I was a bit of a B, but the movie sucked.
But you're right to do so because if you center your birthday around watching a Fast and Furious movie, and you tell other people to come out and do that with you, that is not only selfish, that is corny.
We were running 10 deep at that movie theater
no.
in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
That is absolutely abysmal. What's the last Fast and Furious movie you've seen, Tina?
I think the last one I watched was when Paul Walker was in it. Like, it's been a while.
Oh, When I'll See You Again with the,
Yes.
the cars.
Yeah, I don't
away.
think I could watch it any other one.
That is
because I
one to
loved
watch.
it. Yeah.
That is one to watch.
Yeah.
I have not seen any of the Fast and Furious ones since literally the number 2. Too Fast, Too Furious. I remember the Ludacris song. I remember exactly where I was at. I remember who I went with and everything. I watched it in the theaters. It was good. And I was like, you know what? That's enough.
See,
but apparently they didn't think so.
It's cheesy, it's corny, and everyone in it knows the dialogue is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they won't actually admit it. I like this. You know the sci-fi original movies? Like you turn on the Sci-Fi channel and you have like Sharknado or the type of movies that are like that.
I know what you mean, but I never do that. But yes.
Those movies I would rather watch than the Fast and Furious. Because I know Sharknado's budgets aren't as high as Fast and Furious, and they're intentionally cringy. I'll take that.
Yeah, sometimes it is cool to watch an intentionally cringy movie than a movie who is trying to take itself seriously, but walking out there and falling on its face, similar to what the Bengals were doing last night on Monday Night Football. They try to take themselves seriously. Cam Taylor-Britt, the cornerback, who said, that's a college offense y'all are running out there in Washington. I'm not really threatened by Jaden Daniels. Got taken deep, not once, but twice. And they watched Jaden Daniels put up numbers on them that were not only elite and prolific, they were historic. Jaden Daniels went 21 for 23, 254 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and he had a completion percentage above 91, breaking a rookie record. Also, I didn't realize that was his first passing touchdown of his career. In Game 3, he gets his first passing touchdown of his career, and just like last week when the Chiefs threw one to Wanye Morris, the Bengals let an offensive tackle score on them again. Can we hear that call from Joe Buck on Monday Night Football? Jaden Daniels' first passing touchdown of his career to a tackle.
Play clock, they don't. With 3 seconds left, Daniels flips. He's got another, and this time it's Trent Scott. The big tackler was the extra offense.
That is Jaden Daniels to Trent Scott, his first touchdown of his career. And they raised a good question there. Like, that's Jaden's first touchdown, right? So that's a very important ball for him. I'm sure for Trent Scott, the offensive lineman, that might be his only career touchdown. Who gets the football?
Well, it's the same controversy you had the last weekend with Roma Dunze and Caleb Williams. It was both their first touchdown. And they were running to the sideline holding the ball together.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You got to they were talking about cut the baby in half. Like, you got to cut it in half.
I would cut it in half.
That'd be pretty cool. And you like stand it up on your shelf.
Yeah, that's true. And make it like one of those. Yeah, you're right. Cutting it in half, getting it sewed up.
We used to have these like bounce back footballs where you could throw it to, if you have no friends, you could throw it at the wall, catch it yourself, whatever. I would cut it in half.
Well, we all have friends here, though, right? Like
we all have friends.
Okay.
No, the football doesn't go to the lineman, by the way. Like in that scenario, no, it goes to the quarterback, Jaden Daniels. The lineman doesn't. What's he going to do with the football?
That's his only career touchdown.
He'll get
Put it
another.
in his office. Put it in his room. I don't know. Anything.
So here's what they have to do then if you're the Commanders. If you're going to give the football to Jaden Daniels, you have to force feed that lineman another touchdown. The only problem is the only team that's giving up touchdowns, the offensive linemen these days, are the Bengals, and the Washington Commanders don't have them on the schedule anymore.
But 35 years from now, if we go through the history that Jaden Daniels and the Commanders want history to go, you'll be talking about Jaden Daniels is in the Hall of Fame as a Commander. Wow. The football that's in the Hall of Fame was his first touchdown thrown.
Okay.
It's not going to be the lineman's first touchdown or only touchdown.
I feel like you're being a little dramatic.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I'm not. I think it's being more dramatic to act like the lineman catching the ball is a bigger deal.
Here's the thing, though. Jaden Daniels' first touchdown came against the Buccaneers in the form of a run. So, it's his first passing touchdown, but it's not even his first touchdown as a pro. He had 2 rushing touchdowns against the Bucs to open the season off. So, that ball is more important to the lineman there. And you guys, just like always, are picking on the offensive linemen. The guys that they're doing the faceless work. They're doing the grunt stuff. These guys get no credit, no love, and y'all are trying to take the ball away from them.
I'm saying split it in half. If the quarterback wants the ball, split it in half. But I would agree. I do think the lineman, because he'll probably never get one again.
Never get it again.
Yeah, he'll have the highlight, and the highlight is what lives forever. That's what you show your kids. You don't show your kids the stupid football that looks like every other football. You show them the highlight.
Oh my!
You just said you were raining on your friend's parade for his birthday. I feel like you just rain on everyone's parade all the time.
That's not true. I'm an exceptionally positive individual.
Yeah, that's exactly the opposite. That's exactly the opposite.
I light up the room when I walk in.
You don't. You light it up with fire and flame and also just a little bit of – you like to try and mellow people out.
Yeah, I humble people. Is that a bad thing?
You don't humble people.
I think
that is the most arrogant thing I've ever heard anybody say in my life.
It's not
I humble people.
Not by being great, just by showing someone who they actually are.
That is
No.
Is that not the most arrogant statement you've ever heard? I humble people. CCAT 2024.
I think that's a great quality to have in a person.
That you humble everybody that you go around?
Yeah, I don't kiss butts, I don't raise people up and make them think they're better than they are. I bring them down to where they actually are. Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
He's so full of himself. That's the most arrogant thing I've heard anybody ever say is that you humble people with your presence.
Being self-aware is a invaluable quality to have, and I think everybody should be as close to as perfectly self-aware as they can be.
Yeah.
And I help them get there.
You don't help. So that's the problem too. You think that you can influence people's self-awareness. Well, what's the first part of that word?
Self.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of help.
Trust me. People that trust me. People that have an inaccurate depiction of their self, you're not going to change that, CCAT. Just one person can't do it. People are crazy.
Day by day. Day by day. It's like bumpers at a bowling alley. I can't actually roll the ball for you, but I can help you. I'll get you there eventually, one comment at a time.
As an idiot.
Every single day here in the City Place studios.
Where do we find this guy, CCAT?
I don't know.
I don't know. Absolutely don't know. If there's one guy that needs to be humbled in the league right now, it's Joe Burrow, and he got a nice slice of humble pie last night. He had a good game. He wasn't bad. But the problem I keep going back to is I don't believe he was worth the contract that the Bengals signed him to, and the reason being, he's a franchise quarterback. He's contingent on having elite weapons on the field with him to make him good, and that means that you have to, in a salary cap sport, you have to sacrifice other positions. Bria hopped in the YouTube chat here on Theoretically Speaking and said it. Yeah, you definitely need a defense. You want to know why they don't have Jesse Bates and DJ Reader? It's because they had to save their money to pay Joe Burrow and their guy, Jamar Chase. Now they're going to be in a position next year and the year after where Joe Burrow's cap hit going to keep climbing. Is his production going to do so with it, or have we already seen the peak of what he's going to be? We talked about it yesterday. The dude's 27 years old. He's older than Sam Darnold. There's young guns in the league right now, including the guy that he went up against, that look better than him on given Sundays already. And Jaden Daniels is 3 games into his career. I just, again, if you're a Bengals fan and if you're in that front office, you've got to be just objectively disappointed with what you have on your roster, including the starting quarterback. And if you're the Washington Commanders, the statement that they made on Monday Night Football is we've been talking about who made the biggest statement. What was the statement made on Monday Night Football with our doubleheaders? Jaden Daniels said, I may be young, but I'm ready. I'm ready. And that dude right there, I'm not going to go out as far as some of y'all and say that the Chicago Bears made the wrong pick at number 1, but I know one thing for sure, the Commanders made the right pick at number 2. Because that dude is balling, and he's looking like a guy that if he could stay healthy is going to be an elite person. And like you said, a gold jacket dude down the line.
Well, hey, I said if it goes as they want it to, which of course they want it to go that way.
He can. I'm not saying put the gold jacket on him right now, but I am saying.
Wait, you can't even say he can.
He can.
If he can, then anybody in the world can, or anybody in the NFL can.
No, Bo Nix can't.
I don't think you can say he can't.
I can. I literally today will stake a claim that Bo Nix is not going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I feel fine saying that. Very comfortable. Joe Burrow might not either.
What I can say is that the Commanders just certified made the statement. We talked about entering the show, who made the biggest statement last night. One of those statements was the Washington Commanders saying, we are a contender in the division. It's not just a 2-team race anymore. I'm not talking about the Giants. We're talking about the Eagles and the Cowboys. It's not a 2-team race anymore. It is a 3-team race, and I'm excited for that.
That is interesting in the NFC East. People have written off that division for just the Eagles and Cowboys. Both the Eagles and the Cowboys have disappointed in spots, whereas the Commanders have impressed us. And I like that statement from the Commanders. They can contend for their division, and Jaden Daniels can be a Hall of Fame quarterback, unlike Bo Nix. Who do you think has a better chance? Let's just do this right quick, and then I'll get your statement. Who made the biggest statement on Monday Night Football? Let me be sports talk radio guy. This feels like something Evan Cohen would ask right now on Unsportsmanlike and then get incredulous looks from everybody around. Who has a better shot at a Hall of Fame career? Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow. Yeah, it's Joe Burrow. That's what I would say right now.
Why would you say that right now? What about Joe Burrow through these first 4 years and then outlook for what the Bengals have in front of them as they're 0-3 right now and just lost to Jaden Daniels. What about him paints the picture of a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I think making it to a Super Bowl is more of a team and quarterback accomplishment than anything that Jaden Daniels has done so far.
Of course. I mean, he's three games in. It's more projecting. But what I will say is Jaden Daniels has a lot more of a runway. Jaden Daniels, who just outdueled Joe Burrow on primetime television, also is working with an organization that is under new leadership that you would hope has the kind of consistency you'd need. And also, Joe Burrow has a huge, long line of injury concerns. Who knows how long the dude will be playing? Jaden Daniels is frail, but the dude plays football. He takes them hits.
Oh, he seeks out contact.
Yeah.
This is also a disgusting thing you just brought up. We got to get out of this immediately.
Oh, yeah, I'm a jerk. I'm going all in on my anti-Joe Burrow stuff right now because I'm sick of everybody parading the dude up like he's done something in this league that is beyond just also being part of a really good team. Not saying he's a bad quarterback. He was a really good player on a really good team that now is going to be paid like an elite quarterback. And once they start doing that, they're not going to be able to surround him with that elite level talent anymore.
But what else would you have done? You
have to pay him for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they did the wrong thing. I'm just saying now I think that their window, like, again, we always say they'll be back. Right, Tina? You hear that in sports. You hear that in everything. Like, oh, you'll have another chance. You'll be back. I don't think the Bengals will be back, and it's because now they have to pay him, again, like an elite level quarterback, and he's already 27, and he's already getting passed up by younger dudes in his own conference.
So I have a dramatic take.
Ooh, from Monday Night Football.
Not real, I guess about Joe Burrow.
Okay.
So he is giving me, because I'm thinking back to this summer where Joe Burrow was in like this Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
He's doing this hair dye stuff. He is, and again, this is dramatic. He's giving me like Russell Wilson vibes of like that celeb, like look at me. And I feel
Russell
like,
Wilson or Westbrook? You're saying Russell Wilson, the quarterback?
Yes, like
okay,
how he's like when he's like out and about and he has like pure like he's like more into like the outside where like the being married to Sierra and like all that. And also we would go back and forth about like Travis Kelce and this whole Taylor Swift stuff of like, oh, like he's so distracted outside of football and how he is like with Taylor Swift and at all these events and he's not focused, but like he's still performing. And like I just don't think like Joe Burrow, again, like as you're like preparing for the season, like he was doing all these things. And again, like I hate to look back at this and be like, oh, like he was doing all this stuff. Like that's why he's not prepared. But like for me, like when I've been seeing Joe Burrow and we talked about too with like Will Levis, like I'm not seeing like football things ever about him on like my feed. I'm seeing always like, again, like I'm seeing Will Levis's girlfriend and who he's dating right now. I'm seeing Joe Burrow and that he's in Paris Fashion Week and that he's doing all these events, which he should be as an athlete, like have your fun. But again, like we think like, oh, like you're being paid this much money, like, and your team, like go out there and perform as well.
You know what ain't fun for Joe Burrow is he's having all that fun off the field, like you're saying?
Losing.
Playing football. Losing right now. Yeah. And you have your star wide receiver, Jamar Chase, another LSU guy, which I'm starting to question though, Tina, how strong the LSU bond is between players and whatnot. Because it doesn't feel like there's much of a relationship. Like people don't like Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels are both former Heisman winning quarterbacks from LSU. Like, same alma mater, did the same thing, transferred in, and won a Heisman. I'm curious as to why they don't have a stronger relationship. But here's Joe Burrow's number one target, Jamar Chase, on what he saw from the quarterback on the other side of the field.
He's a great effing player, not going to lie.
Yeah, he is. And I think that great is going to turn into elite one day. And I think that we've seen the best football out of Joe Burrow that we will, again, outside of them also surrounding him with more talent. They're going to have to take sacrifices on defense, and it's going to look like this, where you're getting 38 points hung on you by a rookie quarterback on Monday Night Football. Part of that stuff, like you said, Tina, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
When you're not performing well, when you're not winning, but you also are, dressed like a B-boy.
Yeah, and again, like I love the whole like he gives me Ken Barbie vibes with this like bleached hair, but I don't care about if I'm, if I was a Bengals fan, like, oh, I don't care about your hair color that you're dyeing. Like, I want to win. You
got to win.
Yeah.
You got to score more points than the other team. And at the Panthers next week does not look like a easy feat anymore, like it would have a week ago, because you're going to be going up against the former franchise quarterback of the Bengals and Andy Dalton, who has a point to prove. I tell you right now, and I said this about this game, and they lost it. If the Bengals slip up and lose at Carolina next week, like like who has more? I mean, it's going to be the Jaguars. They're in a worse position than the Bengals would be. But the questions regarding their quarterback are going to be almost as loud because he's really good, but the fact that you had to pay him this much and sacrifice that much around him is going to hurt you long run if you want to be a contender in the AFC. It just is.
So what questions are you asking about
Did we pay him too much money, and should he be able to lift up this offense without us also having to pay Jamar Chase $35+ million a year?
And if you find the answer to that question, and if the answer is yes, we paid him too much money. Exactly. So that's why you can't even ask the question.
You have to draft your ass off is what you have to do. You have to, like the Lions have been able to do. The reason why they're able to pay Jared Goff $50+ million and then Amon-Ra St. Brown $30+ million is because they drafted guys like Laporta, like Gibbs, like Terrion Arnold, and they've struck gold in the draft. They've done really well in that facet. The Bengals are going to have to draft well as well if they're going to pay these kind of guys at those premier positions top of the market money. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. You have to re-up on Jamar Chase too. I'm just saying the reason why the future is so much brighter for Josh Allen, your guy, Lamar Jackson, your guy, Patrick Mahomes, my guy, is because they're able to lift up their offenses without needing a $35 million receiver, whereas Joe Burrow has not been good unless you've had a guy like that on the field, both in college and in the pros.
So if they find the answer to that question where, okay, maybe Joe Burrow was not the complete and total one-man fixed job of really a really putrid Cincinnati organization before he got there, for many years before he got there, we got to invest more in Joe Burrow. Maybe not in dollars, but in time and development and kind of structuring how we're approaching his position.
To be honest with you, I don't think that's going to be the answer, too. What's going to end up happening with the Bengals, they're going to miss the playoffs this year. They're going to try to retool the roster a little bit. They're going to re-up Jamar Chase. They got some up-and-coming weapons. They've drafted well with receiver because Yoshevich, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Yoshi?
Yeah, I didn't know that's how you pronounce his name until last night.
Yeah.
I was saying Iosivas, in fantasy football. I was saying it until last night.
He's been the talk of the town all offseason.
They call him Yoshi. That's why I should have gotten it. They call him Yoshi.
Yoshi. Like, he's going to be good, and you won't have to pay him for some years down the line. I do think there's a route in which the Bengals can bounce back from this, but they're not making the playoffs this year. And next year, the rest of the AFC is only going to continue to get stronger around them, including a team like the Steelers that are 3-0 that are going to have the quarterbacks position. Your Steelers probably more figured out by then as well. It's not just a singular the Bengals are bad conversation. It's the Bengals are underwhelming. They're tied a lot of money into quarterback and wide receiver going forward, and the rest of the conference around them is good. If they were in the NFC, they can get away with this. They can't do that in the AFC.
No, they seem like they're going to be caught in the run-it-back cycle for a lot of years because they've tied themselves into these contracts. They've committed themselves to this way of winning football games. There's no turning back now. So it might drive Bengals fans crazy for as much as they can look back to the 1 year where the Bengals did pop out to a Super Bowl berth and think, okay, if we did it once, we can do it again. But you're going to see 3 or 4 years of the same method taking in terms of the core of this team.
Yeah, it happens all the time in sports. Remember when the Thunder made the finals against the Heat? Oh, they'll be back, right? Like, it happens all the time, especially with young teams that have a year where they outperform expectations. You can never assume you'll be back on that stage, especially because the more success you have early, the more money that those players demand, and it's a salary cap sport. And there's going to be new rookies that come up and develop and deliver. And I think Joe Burrow is getting closer to that line, closer to that edge, that demarcation, than he is getting any better around that Bengals franchise. And that's why they're 0-3 today. Let's hop on the Safe-Bound Get-Around. Let's get the motion going right quick. As Tina, is this your first ride on the Safe-Bound Get-Around?
Maybe the second.
Second ride, so hop aboard.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Check it go. I get around.
The Safe-Bound Get-Around, you're safe with Safe-Bound. We're in motion with Safe-Bound as well.
Next stop.
And your first stop in the Safe-Bound Get-Around, we're in Southside Chicago.
Yeah.
History on the line tonight.
Damn right.
Guaranteed rate field, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. That's where the White Sox host the Angels for a chance to be the worst team of all time.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be anything, be the one thing, right? Be the best at something, and they're going to be the best at losing ever in Major League Baseball. I'm excited for White Sox fans. If you're going to be that horrid, you might as well go get the record. They also have 6 more games left, so the record's going to be theirs anyways.
Yeah.
I hope they do it at home. Give the fans what they're looking for.
You know what? If you've been watching White Sox games all season, one, get your priorities straight. Spend some time with your family.
Please.
Do some charity work. I don't know. Do something else with those 3 hours a night. But if you are a White Sox fan, you're watching these games, think about yourself maybe 30 years in the future. You can say, you know what? I'm a real White Sox fan.
Hell yeah.
I was a fan when they were the worst regular season baseball team of all time. At least you can put that feather in your cap.
You earned it. I think fans should want this to happen more than the opposite. How pissed would I be if I'm a White Sox fan and now they win out the rest of the year? And now we're just tied for the worst team of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jerry Reinsdorf was right, man. He said players don't win championships. Organizations do. And organizationally, they've been a complete and utter failure, and they're not winning championships. They're going to win the record for most losses. Seeing if you were in Chicago, would you try to pull up tonight, 7:40 first pitch?
I don't think I'd pull up. I would spend my time maybe a little more wisely. But
History.
hey, go big or go home.
It's history, man.
Yeah.
Hope them Angels are doing it big in the outfield tonight.
Next stop,
Germany. Somewhere there.
Yeah, why would be Germany?
Munich.
I want some brats, though. Some bratwurst.
Brats?
Brats.
Brats. Okay.
Brats. Yeah, I said the wrong.
Sauerkraut.
Kraut. You put the sauerkraut on the brat.
Well, we are in Germany because 49ers dynamic running back CMC, Christian McCaffrey, he's traveling to Germany to see a specialist regarding his Achilles tendonitis. He's going to be there for a couple of days, and right now he's expected to miss at least 6 games.
You never want to hear this. Like, I would prefer to hear that McCaffrey went to Germany maybe 5 or 6 weeks after he's already back, right? But hearing that he's going to Germany as he goes to Germany to see a specialist, it just feels like the situation is even more dire than we thought. Have we seen the best days of I almost said C-Mac. Have we seen the best days already of him? Is as a running back, is his career pretty much over with? That's on the line at this point because an Achilles injury at that age, at that position, that's scary. Scary news.
Yeah, he might fall off a cliff in terms of production at the running back position. Saying he stays healthy, if he does play this year, I don't think we're going to see the same Christian McCaffrey.
There's no way.
That just seems like extreme measures for an injury. Like, you want to get back sooner than you probably need to.
Yeah, imagine how uncomfortable a flight is to the bad Achilles all the way to Germany. Doesn't care. I don't care what type of airline you're flying on. That's going to suck.
Well, if they give you a little brat with some kraut, that'll make it better.
I had my first airline food ever on my trip to Italy. So bad.
Yeah. You mean like actual platter type airline food?
Yeah,
right.
where they serve you breakfast and they serve you dinner.
Never good.
Oh, wow.
No, they served me penne alla vodka at 7 a.m.
Oh.
I think it was a mistake. They served breakfast when dinner should have been and dinner when breakfast should have been.
I love breakfast for dinner.
I love breakfast any time of the day. I would ask for the breakfast twice.
Same.
But, okay, you can deal with that, but you're having
dinner for breakfast
but
is
you're
terrible.
forced
or
to have,
seafood,
yeah.
Dinner for breakfast is an absolute disaster.
Yeah, no.
I would have gave it back to him.
Really bad.
Next stop,
Las Vegas, Nevada, Davante Adams. Remember him? He's an active NFL wide receiver on the Raiders. He's dealing with quarterback problems, however. Here is what he had to say about Jaden Daniels on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams.
He won the Heisman for a reason. I mean, he's a special player. We were hoping that maybe all the teams didn't think so, and he could slip down to the Raiders, a little while ago. But
ooh, come on, you can't do this. This is my problem with athletes being so overexposed, having so many open mics. You already have a quarterback controversy on your football team actively. We're only 3 weeks into the season. We literally have reports that, Antonio Pierce, he's been flirting with the quarterback change. They're going to stick with Gardner Minshew instead of going to Aiden O'Connell. But what message does that send your guys in your locker room, the guys that are supposed to be throwing you the ball, if you're openly talking about, damn, we was hoping Jaden would have fell to us so he could be throwing me the ball?
We're all
Kinda
adults
sucks.
here, though. They're all adults there. I think Gardner Minshew knows that if he was franchise quarterback or at least just solid starting quarterback material, that it would have happened by now. Aiden O'Connell probably knows he's not the answer. Read the tea leaves himself. I think that shows maturity within the organization that Davante Adams knows he can say that.
I would just hope Davante Adams would if he's going to say it on a hot mic, he's going to say it to his face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did pretty much.
He did, but I mean, I'd hope if you are going to say it's aware in the locker room.
That is the thing, too. And that's my only problem with it. It's not that he said it because we all know the truth. We're not idiots.
Yeah.
You're right. They're adults. In the middle of a football season, for you to literally, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to your own teammates. And if you're talking about going to war for guys and being a team, going through the thick of things, like if you're saying this 3 weeks in, you're telling the world you don't have much confidence in the two guys that are throwing you the football right now, or the one guy in Gardner Minshew. And I think that's not in football. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do it. No.
Jay Nance will look good with that offense, though.
Oh my God. I mean,
he looks good with the offense he is now.
I was about to say he just looks good in general. He's just a good dude playing football, and the Raiders cannot run the ball at all, and he would help with that too.
Next stop.
Last stop on the Safebound Get Around. You're safe with Safebound. We're going to Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
I was just in Charlotte.
Okay.
A little slingshot away, a stone's throw.
Tar Heels football
Bus
coach
ride.
Mac Brown. Remember him? Well, he's still with North Carolina. He in North Carolina took a big, you messed me up.
Sorry.
It took a big loss at home versus James Madison over the weekend, 70-50. Not a basketball score. That's what North Carolina's known for. They lost 70-50 on the football field, and that wasn't the worst of it. North Carolina trailed at half, 53-21. Reportedly, Mac Brown got so emotional after this embarrassing loss to James Madison, he told his team he was walking away from the job.
Oh, my God.
He's going to quit.
Gosh.
Brown has since taken that statement back, and he will not resign. He said, I'm coming back to work this week. He has apologized for it.
What will be more embarrassing for North Carolina? Them losing 70-50 to James Madison like they did in football, or in basketball since they're known as a basketball school? Because both are terrible.
Yeah. Basketball got to be. They're known for it.
Yeah.
I know Mac Brown changes things with that program. Like, you kind of expected a little bit more, but it doesn't erase history that you know of North Carolina football.
I mean, a team could get hot in basketball, though. Hit a lot of threes. You're not hot. Like, in today's day and age,
you know what? Yeah.
It can happen in basketball. It's bigger headlines, though, in football because a 20-point shellac, and that's just...
I think I saw that. Didn't they pay like 500-something thousand, or if it's like a crazy
Money
amount
game.
of money to
Yep.
play there?
Mm-hmm.
Paid them boys to come and whoop that tail. If I pay you and you come in my house and drop 70 on me, like, I think I would have a problem. I would have a problem with that.
That's also a different type of, like, remorse and embarrassment of saying you're going to quit and then not quitting and then coming back to work on Monday. Like, put yourself in perspective.
That's weird.
It's uncomfortable.
That's weird.
Mac Brown has such a legacy and is respected by so much, he got away with it.
Yeah.
Not many coaches could do that.
Nah.
By saying, you know what? I'm done. That's it. I'm out of here. They'd get laughed out the building the next time I try to show up.
100%. That's absolute loser talk. And also, if your player said something like that, how would you treat it, Mac Brown?
Exactly. If your quarterback says, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like, see ya. We don't want you.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it that way. That's a good point. Tina, you work out every single morning, and I know one thing about you. You'd never quit in the middle of an F45 workout. You ain't got no quit in your bones.
I would never quit.
Come on.
F45, this week is the week to try F45. It's free. If you've never tried a class or ever been to F45, till this Sunday, go to F45 West Palm Beach, F45 Palm Beach Gardens, and see why I'm so obsessed with it and why I every day want to get up and work out at 5:15 a.m. And the people around you, the trainers, it is a great spot. Again, you can really see what it's like from a strength class, from a cardio. There's hybrid. They've got plenty of times in the morning, the evening, the afternoon, whatever works best for your schedule. F45 West Palm Beach, F45 Palm Beach Gardens. It is a welcome week, and if you've never tried a class, it is free. Check them out on their Instagram pages or go to f45training.com to find a location near you.
We've got little Prize Picks talk on the other side. Prize Pick, of course, is the sponsor. They are a partner. They are our presenters of our YouTube stream. So shout out to Prize Picks for that. I'll give an update on the entry I gave out for this past Monday Night Football slate. Plus, we're going to deliver to you one of the more disturbing things I've read this morning, and it's Tina, something that you sent C-Cat and I. That dude asked y'all for what?
I know.
And then y'all did it.
Yeah.
Why would you? You shouldn't agree to things
say
like
no.
that. That's just that. You're in trouble. That's Tina. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen. When you need auto repair, honesty and reliability are everything. Trust the home for honest, reliable service since 1970. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. St. Lucie Battery and Tire has all the tire and battery brands in stock for cars, trucks, RVs, marine, power sports, golf carts, everything. Major and minor service repairs, free tire pressure, battery checks. St. Lucie Battery and Tire, over 50 years in our community. And now with 18 full-service locations, West Palm to the Treasure Coast. Go to slbt.com. That's slbt.com.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at pnc.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton, as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at kaisergolfcenter.com.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Gentlemen, good news, bad news. Let's do bad news first. Get that out of the way. Bad news. The supplements you see on TV with the free trial, your testosterone's going to replace it. They don't work. If they did, the multi-billion-dollar industry of testosterone replacement wouldn't have to exist. But thank God it does. And thank God for Andrologics West Palm Beach, treating and beating low T for over 20 years, improving the lives of thousands of men just like me, just like you. This is science, not promise. I'm talking about improved performance from the boardroom to the bedroom. Your body chemistry is as unique as your fingerprint. There's no one-size-fits-all solution that works for everybody. The best part is their doctors custom-designed testosterone replacement for you, and it's shipped right to your door. Everything to look, feel, perform better, like your mid-late 20s on. Gentlemen, get it back. It's never too late. If you start now, you'll be grateful. Don't wait any longer. Go online to andrologics.com. That's ANDROLOGIX.com. Again, ANDROLOGIX.com. Andrologics West Palm Beach, because experience matters.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's, where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I know we don't have football tonight, but it's ladies' night on the hardwood, and that's why I love Prize Picks. C-Cat, you were asking me about Prize Picks. You said, how many actual selections can you do on a lineup? It's between 2 and 6. You can do as few as you want, between 2, and then also you can do up to 6.
You're feeling froggy.
I did 6 for Monday Night Football. I did 6 for last night, and I only went 3 out of 6. So though I've had a few winners, a few winning lineups on Prize Picks, I had a loser last night because the games kind of went unexpected. The Bills really blew out the Jaguars, and James Cook could not get those rushing yards because they didn't really need him to.
I wonder if they were offering Mitch Trubisky more or less than, because you saw a lot of Mitch that I didn't expect to see.
We did, and you know what? Whatever that would have been, the more would have hit. And that's how easy it is. You just pick more or less on stats and player props. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members, including myself, so join in on the fun. And this is the best part. Right now, one Caleb Williams passing yard, that gets you one win on Prize Picks every single week in September. But remember, that ends when September ends. So you only got one more weekend to make sure you put more on a Caleb Williams passing yards. It's like a free square. It's a free win right there. You can win now up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. That's if you're really savvy like myself. So I hit big on my first football weekend. I'm looking to strike big as well when it comes to the ladies' night tonight on the hardwood, postseason ball. And that's why I love Prize Picks. It's not just one sports. It's all of them available to you. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code THEOD. We'll put it in the YouTube chat as well. Use code THEOD. And whether you win or lose, you get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. That's right. Use the code THEOD on Prize Picks. You get $50 right into your account. That's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. And Tina, I hate to tell it to you like this, straight raw, but what happened to y'all, was this earlier today or yesterday?
This was this morning.
This morning. What happened to you was a brother running his game on y'all, and it worked.
I don't think so. This
Okay.
was a very weird situation.
Okay.
So I go for morning runs along the beach, as I've mentioned a few times. I'm training for a marathon, and I have to get so many miles a week on certain days, and I usually run along the beach in the morning. And it's me, my friend, and her husband. And this morning, after all of our runs, we always take like a sunrise picture, of the beach, whatever, sometimes like a selfie of us. And there's always people walking along the beach. It's early in the morning, around like 7 a.m. And we were taking a picture, and this older man was like, "Oh, pose." And we just kind of were like, whatever, we posed. And then we had my friend's husband. I was like, "Oh, hey, will you take a picture of us?"
Yeah.
Of me and my friend. And as he's taking a picture of us, then the guy is taking pictures of us, of her husband, of all of us. Yes. The three of us.
Yes.
And he says out loud, he goes, "I just like taking pictures and pictures of people taking pictures."
How close was he to y'all?
This picture was for him. Like, you didn't hand him a phone.
No, yeah, this is on his phone.
Yeah.
I have no idea where it's
Stranger.
going, what it's being used for. I have a stranger completely. We're probably about like 20 feet from each other, like 20, 30 feet.
Oh, so
we're like the end of this like boardwalk, and he's like at kind of the beginning, but like it's not that far apart.
Yeah.
We walked away, and I go, I wonder where those pictures are going to go. Like, dude, does this guy just like take pictures of people and like saves them on his phone, or just like, is he like a Facebook? He posts like a big album on Facebook of like, Tuesday morning walk and
Faces of Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast.
Yeah, like Jupiter, kids, whatever. I don't know.
Well, first off, you refer to yourself as kids.
Yeah.
Well, in his
That was
eyes,
Freudian. That was pretty Freudian.
in his eyes, he might think of us as kids.
Yes. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he may say that.
Okay. So here's another question.
I'm not afraid of 30, and I'm not that close.
Did he have a professional camera, or was it his phone?
Oh, it was his cell phone.
I don't know, man. That's a little weird. That's extremely weird.
And too, it's like when he was like posed, like all of us kind of just like did like a funny pose. But it's like, and we didn't think anything of it because it was just like in the moment, like it happened so fast. What do you do?
Yeah, that's gonna be on the dark web. I don't know what he's doing with those photos. I don't know what kind of AI he's running through them, but that's gonna be, that's not. I'm sorry to break it to you. Next time a stranger tells you to pose, though,
get
out of there.
Say no.
Absolutely get out of there.
This feels like a horror movie.
Is that why you give us this deep music right here?
This is like when they check the phone after things happen. Like, oh, wait, this is from last year. Wait, that's Christina in the wild.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, the signs were all there.
Yeah. This guy's been walking around stalking y'all for weeks.
Yeah.
And
And
finally
you
got a pick.
Watch out, Tina.
I'll
Watch your
keep
back.
my eyes open.
Make sure her husband stays with y'all on all those runs.
He does.
That's what I was about to say.
We're all doing the training together, so
Okay.
it's always us three.
Yeah, keep him with you.
Yeah.
Because whoever this dude is, this creep who pulled out, and I know you don't want to call him that. I'm going to call him that. This creep who pulled his phone out and said pose and started snapping pictures of y'all from afar. I don't like one bit of it.
I think it was more like weird of like admitting like, oh, I like to take pictures of people taking pictures. I was just like, okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. That sounds like an excuse.
That sounds like he's something made up on the spot.
Yeah.
He, for some reason, did not think he was going to get questioned, and he didn't. He just offered up the information.
Yeah.
I'd like
he over-explained himself.
People taking no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun for me because I've been waiting to debut this for a long time. It is what we're going to do to end the happy hour every single day with Tina. It's time now for the last call. Ooh, okay. Just like how that music just comes on in. There we go. So this is the last call, Tina. This is how you send us off as we end happy hour with you, the joyous moment on Theoretically Speaking. It's sad to see you go, but you leave by dropping off some wisdom. And the last call today is brought to you by Duffy Sports Grill because, all day, every day is 2-for-1 drinks. Holla at me. What's the last call today, Tina? What should we toast to?
So I'm super excited to do this, the last call. And my first one is going to be kind of my 2024 motto, which was, if they wanted to, they would. And this I look at from a friend standpoint, from a family standpoint, from a spouse, anything. If people want to do something, they would do it. And this kind of came up, we talked about this yesterday, doing this today, and I happened to be with a friend last night who let me know that she moves around a lot, that in this long time period that she moved away, I was the only friend that visited her. And she was making excuses for her other friends as to why they didn't come and why they couldn't visit and family and all this. I was like, you know what? If they wanted to visit you, they would have visited you.
Damn right.
And that's just I tell myself all the time for someone or anything in your life. Again, if it's family, if it's friends, if it's a spouse, if it's, someone you're dating, whatever. If someone wanted to do something, they would do it for you.
Absolutely.
Maybe even in work situations. Like if they wanted to, they would.
Hold people accountable.
Yes.
Like if Tina was supposed to send an email to y'all in the morning, but she waited until 30 minutes before the show, she would have.
I would have.
If he wanted to take a picture on the boardwalk, he would.
He would.
And he did.
He did.
The last call brought to you by Duffy Sports Grill. I absolutely love that. If you wanted to, you would pull up to a Duffy Sports Grill and become an MVP like myself, like Tina, like CCAT. We're all MVPs. It's as simple as going to duffysmvp.com and signing up today so you can start tracking your rewards because it's football season, baby. And you got 80 or more televisions in every single Duffy's location. You got the jumbo wings. You got the award-winning burgers. But best of all, in the last call, you got 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. They ain't going to shortchange you. Don't worry. If you're at drink number 5 and it's getting close to last call, the waiter or waitress is going to come on over to you and say, hey, buddy, it's last call here. How would you like? What would you like for your second drink here in the 2-for-1 special? That's love.
I love that. You don't got to remind them that you're on the second leg of a 2-for-1. They remind you.
Yes.
That is what I will credit. Duffy Sports Grill ain't going to leave you hanging. There's some places that would like to keep that second drink to themselves. Like, maybe you'll forget.
Yeah.
Nah. They make sure you get it.
And sometimes when you're on third or fourth, the numbers get fuzzy. You forget which even number or odd number drink you're on.
Yeah, you can't count on the table because they're taking the glasses away. It's expert service there. But they look out for you. They lock in with you. 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. The last call brought to you by Duffy Sports Grill. At Duffy's, our game is always on. Appreciate you pulling up. Thanks for leaving us with that last call. Looking forward to that segment going forward. That's Tina. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. On the other side, we bring in, is it Mike Rizzo today?
No, he's out, dude.
Mike
he's
Rizzo's
still
out.
sick.
Ah, man, he's under the weather. So we'll have Colin Russo, maybe. I don't think we've confirmed that. Maybe we get Colin Russo for the crossover here on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan.
Eisner-Amper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services, such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. Eisner-Amper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. For industry-specific strategies that meet your needs in South Florida, make Eisner-Amper part of your solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution.
Tee up your taste buds with the ultimate pairing, great food and golf. Theo Dorsey here at the House in West Palm Beach. Overlooking the park's world-class 18-hole golf course, the House offers coastal American dishes that will satisfy anyone's palate. The House is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch, brunch, and dinner. Stop by for an entree and receive a free round at the park's The Lit 9 Par 3 course. On the House. Visit thehousewestpalm.com for their full menu and to make reservations.
It's that time of year again. Preparations are underway for Clinics Can Help's 11th annual Golf Classic at the Wanderers Club. This fun-filled event works to raise money to provide customized medical equipment and supplies to many children in our area in need. Get your foursome together and join the festivities on Friday, October 11th, and make a difference in helping these children live a life of independence and dignity. Register today at clinicscanhelp.org.
Lock in with me, twin. On a Tuesday, it's Theoretically Speaking. Theo Dorsey C-Cat. We got Colin Russo popping up from Russo and Rizzo. Let me tell you something, man. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of skilled orthopedic sports medicine surgeons and specialists that specialize in surgical and non-surgical treatments to get you back to what you love. Don't put off seeing the doctor. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Feeling weak in the knees and probably a little limb in the joints are likely most Jaguars fans coming off of that 47-10 shellacking last night on Monday Night Football. And speaking of Jaguars fan, my guy Colin Russo from Russo and Rizzo right here with me. What's one word to describe how you're feeling? Are you dejected? Was it obviously going to happen? Do you not even feel anything anymore?
Unsurprised is the word that pops to mind. Pissed off, of course. In terms of, we were talking about how good the Bills might be.
Yeah.
No team in the NFL is 47-10 better than their opponent. No team. And I'll get into it a little later, of course, but that is as embarrassing of a loss as I have seen in quite some time for the Jaguars. It's as unprepared as I have seen them since Urban Meyer was in charge. And that is saying something.
I won't walk, because we know how the Urban Meyer story ended, so I won't walk you into that one. I'll let you save that take on what you feel like should happen with Doug Peterson for Russo and Rizzo, which is right around the corner here as we do the crossover. I am curious, though, just for you as a Jags fan, as it stands today, how confident are you that you'll ever see the promise from Trevor Lawrence? Real talk, he's 0-8 in his last 8 starts. I know it's still kind of early in his career to be writing him off.
Yeah, no. So that last thing is what people are riding on. The fact that it's early in his career, quote unquote. The fact that he signed a $55 million a year contract, that's thrown out the window.
Yeah.
The youth is no longer an excuse. He is young, but he is not a youthful NFL player at this point. 4 years in, making critical mistakes, frazzled. He was scared yesterday. So that's my take on him. And it's part of the idea of trapped relationships. You're trapped with him, so you're gonna have to let him figure it out. But as we've seen, all it takes is proper management and a proper staff to unlock the best out of an offensive quarterback.
The only thing is, though, and you made that point, I haven't seen it happen with the same organization. Generally, the quarterback leaves and finds that. So the Jaguars will be kind of
decent point,
stepping into new territory there if they are going to do it.
There's other quarterbacks who really don't take a step till later in their career, guys like Matthew Stafford and, of course, Eli and Peyton. So I understand that, but you're right. I think I'm comparing him to Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's getting late.
The idea is they need to figure it out quickly, and you're stuck with him. Get somebody to unlock him. That's the idea.
I feel for you. I feel for Jags fans everywhere, but at least you know this much. You got the one quarterback in the league, the one quarterback and really player in all of professional sports here in America that has his home stadium named after him. So you can lean back on that as a Jags fan. He made history.
Dumbest thing in the world.
Russo and Rizzo next. Going love.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer. It's a Twin Peaks Tuesday. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge for eats, drinks, and scenic views. This is ESPN 106.3.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of